Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Okay, you are muted now. Okay, Haribo, I'm unmuted. Thank you. Hare Krishna, all glories to Srila Prabhupada, and welcome Vijaya Pandit in Italy, Shiv Narayan in Japan, and all the different people from around the world called our circle of influence. Our larger circle of influence are all the people that you influence. And in this way, we're expanding this bonfire of Krishna consciousness. Yes, it's a opportunity for us. We're very blessed, Mother Ruchisha, Devi Dasi in Montreal, that this has even happened. Think about it. How would we feel if this wasn't here, Vijaya Pandit? What if it didn't manifest? Like, for example, the distribution of the Srimad Bhagavatams, the Delhi Bhagavatams. Very interesting phenomena that is taking place in all of us, especially here at our logistics and distribution center. What's happening is we're becoming enveloped, we're becoming involved in a new service. And every day it's expanding. It's like a fire. It's dragging me in. So many phone calls. Like last week, so many texts, so much activity. Move this, do that. Before I didn't have that. Now I have all this new service. See, be careful what you wish for. Yes, be careful. Because it may come true. And when it does, when we started this, I'm going around here, but when myself and Yashoda came together some years ago, I felt an immediate interest in him and what he was doing. It was something that I thought was a good idea to expose the misinformation campaign that had been propagated by our godbrothers. It was terrible. And we know the facts, how this guru thing is a total fraud. And you get involved, and then it goes step by step, and you stay focused, and then it starts to gain momentum in your life. Just like now the Bhagavatams. So many things. Today I got a post from Narayan in Japan and a post from Danishta in San Francisco this morning. I was talking to both of them, more with her. She was sending me all these pictures on my chat. Rupa Goswami, can you show that picture she sent me? Can you put that up? Look at this picture, Yashoda, Nandana Prabhu. Look at that picture. That's from her collection. There's Jamuna on the left, and Jayananda there next to those other two Prabhus. I'm not sure who they are. I'll have to ask her. You might know. But that's Prabhupada in San Francisco, and she has a whole collection of Prabhupada memorabilia. So I'm talking to her about a Prabhupada Memorial Center globally, a place where all of, I think she has, I've heard like 75 different items And there are other people that have the items too, so it would be good. This is an idea. I get ideas. So just like the Srimad Bhagavatam idea, it kind of unfolded in a very sort of unique way. And you had to be there to experience it. Fortunately, Yashoda Nandana Prabhu is my witness. He's part of it, of how we saw it unfolded. And now look what's happening, Vijaya Pandit. We're getting caught up in this service to distribute 6,000 Bhagavatams. And I wanted to say this today, that last week we distributed or got out into our network 25 cases of Srimad Bhagavatam. And the books are going to Japan, they're in Argentina, they're going to different parts of the world where people are, Australia, for example. I wanted to thank Shama Sundar for his order of I think we're saying 6 or 12. So I think it's 12, it's 6 cases or 6 sets. So we're learning how to do the logistics of distribution of these books. And by the way, we will need someone to help us. So if anybody here is interested in working with us, we're going to be having a personnel change in September. And the person that's handling our distribution and doing a very nice job, by the way, Ron Singh, he's going to Nepal. And we're going to need a replacement for that to help me or us to ship all the books on an ongoing basis. So much is in motion, very much motion. And you get caught up in it. The more you pray to Krishna to get the service, the more the service may come. If you're lucky enough, This Krishna rewards us with devotional service to Prabhupada and the mission of Lord Chaitanya. And think about it like this. What could be better than serving directly the mission of Srila Prabhupada and Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu? Now, someone could say, well, what are you talking about? When you understand disciplic succession, and you understand the position of Srila Prabhupada in the chain of disciplic succession, like we do, then you are connected to the disciplic succession. That's a fact. And that is the power. People that are not connected, they're in the world of profit, adoration, and distinction for personal gain. And by the way, I'm going to divert here, Yashoda, for 1 second. I've been seriously looking at the situation that's unfolded in ISKCON for the last 50 years. Yes. And like Yashoda and many of us, we actually personally experienced what I am now calling the $1 billion ripoff. It's no joke. Think about it. You saw today we switched the music. Because we have copyright issues. And in the modern time, if you use something without permission, then, for example, Facebook won't show the broadcast because there's a copyright issue. Even my own music, Hare Krishna Jamaica, the person that helped me produce it, he's got the copyrights. I let him do it, but unless I get a copyright release from him, I can't get a hold of him. We have to take the music down. Now, unfortunately, I've got other music which is our own, and therefore we don't have a copyright issue. Copyright is very significant. It's not a small thing. And there's a claim, you can hear all the claims. Since Prabhupada's departure from the physical plane, These people have ripped off all the copyrights, and they've sold 500 million books. Wow. So $1 for every book is $500 million. How about $10? Think about it. This is not a small issue. This is a worldwide issue. Anybody that steals $1 billion for profit, adoration, and distinction must be held accountable in the courts of law. They have to be. And unfortunately, most people couldn't do anything like this because somehow or other it's not their destiny. But for some of us, it might be ours. Some people wanted to expose that Prabhupada was poisoned. There have been books published in a hope that they could dissolve the ISKCON group. That's what they wanted to do because it's being run by these demons. But the fact of the matter is, the real issue is the theft of Prabhupada's copyrights for his books. And that is hundreds of millions of dollars of ripped off money. And this is a global issue. And nobody knows it yet, really. What a tragedy. This is serious. And really, all of us as God brothers and God sisters, we have a class action suit against these people. Because we know, one thing is, Yashoda Prabhu, Nanda Prabhu, these people, for example, there's a new corporation we discovered yesterday that's been registered in Delaware called the Bhaktivedanta Trust something, just to make it up. And, you know, the interesting thing, Rochisha Devidasi, is that, see, Delaware is like a Cayman Islands in America. It's not ruled by the same laws that are ruled that are applied in America per se. It's a different legal setup. Now, why did they do that? Because they are conniving, demoniac people who are doing things for their own reasons. And it is there. For example, we searched in, Ramesh, we searched in Florida about BBT. And there are 4 different corporations registered by different people claiming it's BBT. What is this? Orchestrated. This is an orchestrated ripoff. One thing about ISKCON, you should know that, everybody, and we do. These people are not together. They're all independent agents, but they have a sort of it's a criminal mentality that they don't squeal on everybody, on each other. There's like a mafia. They don't squeal. They don't rat out, because you rat one person and then the other person rats on it and everybody gets caught. That's what criminals do. So instead of ratting, they keep quiet. They shut up. You know what I mean, Vijaya Pandit? The mafia. They keep quiet. I know nothing. I know nothing. Yeah, sure. They are, in a certain way, working together, but working independently in their own cults. And this is a tragedy. And unfortunately, this is going on in the name of Lord Chaitanya's Sankirtan movement. Think about it. I'm going to end up right now soon. How successful was Prabhupada when he launched the movement, Prabhu? Very successful. In fact, it's called Seeds of Devotional Service. He planted so many seeds, and they were cultivating. Everything was growing. We bought the Toronto Temple in our group there. There was the New York Temple building, skyscraper building. Can you imagine how successful the movement is or was? Incredibly successful. Prabhupada had launched a truly magnificent revolution of philosophy and lifestyle for the whole world. And these people have destroyed it. It's not a joke. This is serious. Think about it. Think about this. I was looking at a talk with Jagat Guru Swami, one of our godbrothers who's passed away. He went to the Gaudiya Math, blah, blah, blah. But at any rate, what happened was, he said in 1978, the distribution of the Back to Godhead magazine was 4.5 million copies in 1 month. In 1 month, 4.5 million copies. And how many copies are they selling in 2025? 3,000. Why? Because of this bogus guru system. This colossal ripoff, billion-dollar ripoff that's gone down with Prabhupada's rights, copyrights. They stole them all. They've changed all the books. This is a criminal action that these people must be held accountable for. And we'll think about it. And that's all I'm going to say today. Something to think about, eh? Something to think about. And some of us will continue to work towards somehow or other rectifying this atrocity. But the lions are roaring. They're upset. Yes, we are. And we'll eat the snakes. Anyway, we're carrying on with the Bhagavatams. What an ecstatic opportunity for all of us to be involved in the distribution of the Delhi Bhagavatams. Look at them. Huh? Look at them. I saw you had a beautiful picture of Mother Denishta in San Francisco. She's got an altar in her apartment there in San Francisco, and she's got it she got her 3 cases. And if you're going to order books, please do it. Call me up, 289-244-4315. Call me up, become a center of influence where you live on this planet, and we'll work together somehow or other to get these books out to other people. And cultivate people. Try to make one devotee if you can, a real devotee. I got to stop. I had a call today from Vinay, our new disciple, our Prabhupada disciple, our new student, Prabhupada disciple, Vinay. This guy, this Prabhu is really eager to make advancement. He is. He's calling everybody up. I know, not just me. And I thanked him. I said, thank you very much. He asked me a question, a really good question. It made me think. He said, because he wants to be a lifelong brahmachari. So he asked me a question. He said, Prabhu, is becoming getting married or not getting married a choice or a destiny? Good question, eh, Vijay? Vijay Pandit. Is it a choice or a destiny? I had to think, gee. Well, you have to make a choice first before your destiny unfolds. That's what you do. You make a choice. Okay, I'm going to get married. Then your destiny unfolds in the Grihastha ashram. That's what happens. But the choice has to be there first. The independent exercise of free will to decide what you're going to do with your life and your time. Because when you get married, like Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati said, he saw a wedding procession. He goes, oh, there's a person that just got hung. I'm paraphrasing. But the idea is once you get involved in married life, you've got a lot of issues. You've got to go to work. You've got to get a house. You're having your kids. You've got to buy clothes. You've got to do all of the maze of activity. Whereas brahmachari means freedom. That's the expression. You're free. But you're not entangled in all those responsibilities. It's not a bad thing. We're not condemning anybody. We're just saying that grihastha life is entangling if you make that decision. And then hopefully you can travel the journey and liberate yourself with the help of your partners. So we'll go forward. We're going to go to the next section of our program, which is the Prabhupada opening lecture. So everyone, please listen to this carefully and we'll go forward. Hare Krishna.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam.
Actually, spiritual body means eternal life of bliss and knowledge. This body which you are possessing now, material body, it is neither eternal nor blissful nor full of knowledge. Every one of us, we know that this material body will be finished and it is full of ignorance. We cannot say anything what is beyond this world. We have got senses, but they are all limited, imperfect. Sometimes we are very much proud of seeing and challenge, can you show me God? But we forget to remember that as soon as the light is gone, the power of my seeing is gone. Therefore, the whole body is imperfect and full of ignorance. The spiritual body means full of knowledge, just opposite. So, we can get that body next life and we have to cultivate how to get that type of body. We can cultivate to get the next body in the higher planetary system, or we can cultivate the next body like cats and dog, and we can cultivate such body as eternal blissful knowledge. Therefore, the best intelligent person will try to get next body full of blissfulness, knowledge and eternity. That is explained in the Bhagavad Gita. Jadgatyana nivartante tadhamam paramam mama. That place, that planet or that sky where you go and will never return back to this material world. In the material world, even if you promote to the highest planetary system, Brahmaloka, still you will have to come back again. And if you try your best to go to the spiritual world, back to home, back to Godhead, you will not come again to accept this material body.
Excuse me. I was listening to Yashodanandana Prabhu. I was listening to George Harrison's My Sweet Lord on the phone from Vinay this morning. And listening, because he was playing it in the background. Amazing, eh? A young man like that, he's 31. This is a song from the 70s, still popular. And I was listening to the words, and he says, George Harrison's going, it takes so long, my sweet Lord. No, he's wrong. It's not so long. Of course, he was a new devotee. he did great service. He did this chant and that. But I was reading also his introduction to the Krishna book, that letter. It's okay. The letter's okay. And it was good that he donated the money. But it does not take so long. That's wrong. Prabhupada said Prabhupada said in a lecture in Australia, you don't read the books. It can be done in 1 minute, or it may take millions of lives. It's a matter of surrender. And we're going to move forward with the next section of our show, or our production, which will be the chanting of Jaya Radha Madhava, and then the reading and discussion led by Yashodanandana Prabhu, Haribo, and I know you're leaving early today. He's taking 15 boxes of Srimad Bhagavatam, happily, by the way, to Sacramento, to Ron Singh, and then we're going to be shipping 12 boxes to Alachua, Florida, to Krishna Bhakta. And on it goes. In the effort to spread the mission of Lord Chaitanya without any adulteration or change by other people. Hare Krishna.
Sai. Jaya Radha Madhava Punya Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava सिद्धांत सरस्वती गोस्वामी प्रभुपाद की जय, अनंत कोटि वैष्णववृंद की जय, नामाचार्य श्री हरिदास ठाकुर की जय। प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद से अद्वैत गदाधर शिवास आदि गौर भक्तवृंद की जय। श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गौ गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरिवर्धन की जय, वृंदावन धाम की जय, नवद्वीप धाम की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय, गंगा माई की जय, जमुना माई की जय, तुलसी देवी की जय, भक्ति देवी की जय, स्वामी तो भक्तवृंद की जय। All glories to the assembled Lord. All glories to the assembled Lord. Thank you very much.
Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. O my Lord, Sri Krishna, the son of Vasudeva, the all-pervading personality of Godhead, I offer my respectful obeisances unto you from Srimad Bhagavatam 1:1:1. Narayanam namaskritya Narayanam namaskritya Naram cheva narottamam Naram cheva narottamam Devim saraswatim vyasam Devim saraswatim vyasam Tato jayam mudirayat Tato jayam mudirayat. One should utter the means of conquest, Srimad Bhagavatam and Srimad Bhagavad Gita, after offering respectful obeisances, 1, to the personality of Godhead Narayana, 2, to the Naranarayana Rishi, who is the supermost human being, 3, to the Mother Saraswati, the goddess of learning, then 4, to Srila Vyasadeva, the author, from Srimad Bhagavatam 1-4. Welcome everyone to this reading and discussion on Srimad Bhagavad Gita. Excuse me. As we do every week, we will be reciting a few Sanskrit verses which were introduced by Srila Prabhupada himself in early 1966 in New York when he started his program of lecturing on the Bhagavad Gita. These verses are quite significant. You kindly join us. Om Ajnanatimirandhasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshurun Militam Yena Tasme Gurave Namaha. I was born in the darkest ignorance, and my spiritual master opened my eyes with the torch of knowledge. I offer my respectful obeisances unto him. Sri Chaitanya Mano Bhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Svapadantikam. When will Srila Rupa Goswami Prabhupada, who has established within this material world the mission to fulfill the desire of Lord Chaitanya, give me shelter under his lotus feet? Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahaguna Ragunatan Anvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvetam Savadhutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahaguna Lalita Shri Vishakanvitamscha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of my spiritual master and unto the feet of all Vaishnavas. I offer my respectful obeisances unto the lotus feet of Srila Rupa Goswami, along with his elder brother, Sanatana Goswami, as well as Raghunath Dasa and Raghunath Bhatta, Gopala Bhatta, and Srila Jiva Goswami. I offer my respectful obeisances to Lord Krishna Chaitanya and Lord Nityananda, along with Advaita Acharya, Gadadhar, Srivas, and other associates. I offer my respectful obeisances to Srimati Radharani and Sri Krishna, along with their associates, Sri Lalita and Vishaka. E Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute. Oh, my dear Krishna, you are the friend of the distressed and the source of creation. You are the master of the gopis and the lover of Radharani. I offer my respectful obeisances unto you. Vanchakal tapta kanchana gourangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanu Sute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye. I offer my respects to Radharani, whose bodily complexion is like molten gold, and who is the queen of Vrindavana. You are the daughter of King Vrishabhanu, and you are very dear to Lord Krishna. Vanchakalpa tarubhyascha kripa sindhubhya evacha patitanam pavanebhyo Vaishnavibhyo namo namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like these are trees, and who are full of compassion for the fallen souls. Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrindam Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Thanks everybody for joining us with this reading and discussion. This class or reading is being conducted on the basis of the original 1972 non-adulterated original edition, the 1972 Macmillan edition, all English synonyms, translations, and purports by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Prabhupada, founder Acharya of the International Society for Krishna Consciousness, also known as the Krishna Consciousness Movement. Today we are reading from chapter 13, text number 24. Yaevam vetti purusham prakritim chagune saha sarvata vartamanopi nasabhuyo abhijayati. Ya, anyone, evam, thus, vetti, understands, purusham, the living entities, prakritim, material nature, cha, and gunai, modes of material nature, saha, with, sarvata, by all means, vartamanaha, situated, api, in spite of, na, never, sa, he, bhuyaha, again, abhijayate, takes his birth. Translation by Srila Prabhupada. One who understands this philosophy concerning material nature, the living entity, and the interaction of the modes of nature is sure to attain liberation. He will not take birth here again, regardless of his present position. Purport by His Divine Grace, Srila Prabhupada. Clear understanding of material nature, the supersoul, the individual soul, and their interrelation makes one eligible to become liberated and turn to the spiritual atmosphere without being forced to return to this material nature. This is the result of knowledge. The purpose of knowledge is to understand distinctly that the living entity has by chance fallen into this material existence. By his personal endeavor in association with authorities, saintly persons, and a spiritual master, he has to understand his position and then revert to spiritual consciousness or Krishna consciousness by understanding Bhagavad Gita, as it is explained by the personality of Godhead. Then it is certain that he will never come again into this material existence. He will be transferred into the spiritual world for a blissful eternal life of knowledge. Om Ajnana Timirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshuran Miritam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Namo Vishnu Padaya Krishna Prestaya Bhutale Srimate Bhaktivedanta Swamin Niti Namine. Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Bhakti Siddhanta Shishyaya Bhakti Vedanta Namine Prasannaya Prashantaya Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Bhagavad Bandhana Kadhyam Guru Vandana Purvakam Kshiram Sharkara Yuktam Kadate Visheshataha Adadanastrinam Danteridam Yati Punaha Punaha Srimad Rupa Padam Bhoja Dhulisyam Janma Janmani Amsho Bhagavatosmyaham Sadadasu Asmi Saravata Tat Kripa Pekshako Nityam Tat Preshta Sadkaromi Svam Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Throughout these various readings and discussion, various points are being raised. Now, it's important to note that these Bhagavad Gita discussions and readings, someone recently criticized Vishwakarma and my lowly self by saying, you people spend too much time with the word for word, Sanskrit recitation. What is all that about? Why don't you just start talking? Well, the reason we do this, first of all, is that Srila Prabhupada himself wanted his followers, his students, and his disciples to learn the science of Krishna consciousness by studying his books, by reading his books and studying his books. Several times he said that his students should learn his books just like the lawyers learn their law books in the courts. Every word. So he recommended that his students, I was personally told by Srila Prabhupada to teach the Gurukul children in Vrindavan by studying each and every word in the book, each and every statement in the purports, Make notes of every quotation and citation given in the purports. Any Sanskrit or Bengali quotation should be pointed out. Any example or analogies should be taken out. Any major points or arguments in the purport, we should make note. Various questions should be composed. Various answers should be composed, all on the basis of Srila Prabhupada's books and statements. This is how Srila Prabhupada wanted devotees to learn and study his book. Just like, for example, if you go to law school, engineering school, accounting school, medical school, so many different disciplines, there's a certain way that you learn these sciences. One can't just say, I'm going to do it my way. It doesn't work. You don't become a dental surgeon or a brain surgeon or a cancer surgeon by doing things your way. I once had a relative who had some cancer issue, and I met with the doctor, and I asked the doctor, since you finished your last year of high school, how many years has it been for you to be able to begin these kind of complex surgeries? He says, 14 years. 14 years. So this is because they don't want some amateur or a person who does not know what he's doing, some way or other, coming to this complex world of surgery or law or accounting or engineering and do some major blunder because people's lives are at stake. Just the other day, a very nice devotee sent me a YouTube video of Srila Prabhupada, where Prabhupada was saying, in this material world, you can make plans to stay here, but you will not be allowed to. Even though you may be very successful materially with wife and children and bank balance and beautiful homes, beautiful cars, so much fame, you cannot stay here. This is what the Bhagavad Gita tells us. Asasvatam dukkalayam asasvatam. Dukkalayam means that this place is a place of misery. Prabhupada was explaining, the minute you are born, there is misery and there will be misery throughout life. But under the influence of Maya or illusion, we think, oh, I'm very happy. I'm very happy. I'm enjoying myself. I got some money. I got a bank balance. I'm enjoying very nicely, beautiful wife, beautiful children, beautiful relatives, great nation, this and that. I'm very happy. How long will that happiness last? That's why Krishna is recommending in the Bhagavad Gita, Yad gatva nanivartante tadama paramam mama. That you come back to my abode, you will not have to suffer here. Have you ever seen a baby coming out of the womb laughing or smiling? It's not a smiling experience to come out of the womb. They don't. The baby is suffering for 9 months in the womb. He's packed up very tight. He cannot come out for 8, 9 months, 10 months. And he comes out, he's crying. You never see a baby in ecstasy coming out, because that is the suffering of birth. In the Srimad Bhagavatam, in the 3rd canto, there's a very detailed description of the suffering in the womb. How the baby goes from conception to growth to all the way to delivery to birth. It is not a pleasant experience. But then under the influence of Maya, as the baby grows and then he forgets the suffering that was there, he's being cared by his parents. There's some very interesting songs by Bhaktivinoda Thakur where he describes the whole experience of coming into the world, growing up, getting educated, getting family, friends, family, everything. And he's explaining how throughout the whole experience, the whole cycle, there is only suffering. But under the influence of the illusory energy, Maya. In Sanskrit, Maya means ma, means not, ya, this, not this. So this is a very important point, because in the material world, How can we be delivered from that kind of suffering? In the Sri Ishavasya Upanishad, there is a description that dhira, the dhira means a self-realized person who is beyond the influence of the modes of material nature, a great personality, a liberated soul, mukta purusha, can liberate others. That's why in the Bhagavad Gita, it is recommended. Tad vidhi pranipatena pariprasnena sevaya. Upadikshanti te jnanam jnaninas tattvadarshina. Tattvadarshi. Prabhupada explains, tattvadarshi means one who has directly seen Krishna. Now, this is quite important because some people are under the impression that they can understand Krishna simply by intelligence. They're very intelligent. But it's very interesting how the Upanishads, the Katha Upanishad especially, nabedaya nabhuda srutena, that even though meda means intelligence, even though one may be the most intelligent person, that is not a qualification to understand the absolute truth, to understand Krishna. Nabahuna sritena, somebody may have studied all the four Vedas, Trivedi, Chaturvedi, big scholar, big Sanskrit scholar, big Shastri scholar. That is also not the qualification. So how does one understand the personality of God at the Supreme Brahman? How did Arjuna understand? Krishna explained to him, because you are not envious of me. This is a very important point. Thank you, Prabhu. We have some very interesting statement on the screen. Okay, very nice. This is very important. The Vedic mantras in the Katha Upanishads 129 states, let me just read the text itself. This is from Madhya Lila, chapter 8, text 310. He who has accepted as everything the lotus feet of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Nityananda Prabhu, and Advaita Prabhu can attain this transcendental treasure. Srila Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur says that Krishna is obtainable for the faithful, but for those who are accustomed to argue, Krishna is far, far away. Similarly, these talks between Ramananda Rai and Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu can be understood by a person who has firm faith. Those who are not in a disciplic succession, the Asota Pandits, cannot have faith in these talks. They're always doubting and engaging in mental concoction. These talks cannot be understood by such whimsical people. Transcendental topics remain far, far away from those engaged in mundane arguments. In this regard, the Vedic mantras in the Katha Upanishad 129 state Nesha Tarkena Matir Apanaya Proktanyaneva Sugnyaya Prishta. According to the Mondaka Upanishad 3:2-3, Nayamatma pravachena labhya namedaya bahuna srutena yamevesha vrinute tena labhyaste shesha atma vivrunute tanum svam. And according to the Brahma Sutra 2:111, Tarka Apratishtanat, all Vedic literatures declare that transcendental subjects cannot be understood simply by argument or logic. Spiritual matters are far above experimental knowledge. Only by Krishna's mercy can one who is interested in his transcendental loving affairs understand them. If one tries to understand these transcendental topics simply by using one's material brain substance, the attempt will be futile. Whether one is a prakrita sahajiya or a mundane opportunist or scholar, one's labor to understand these topics by mundane means will ultimately be frustrated. One therefore has to give up all mundane attempts and try to become a pure devotee of Lord Vishnu. When a devotee follows the regulative principles, the truth of these talks will be revealed to him. This is confirmed in the Bhakti Rasamrita Sindhu, Madhya Lila, chapter 17, text 136. One cannot understand the Lord's holy name, pastimes, form, qualities, or entourage with one's blunt material senses. However, when the senses are purified by the constant rendering of service, the spiritual truth of the pastimes of Radha and Krishna is revealed, as confirmed in the Mundaka Upanishad, Yamevesha Vrinutetena Labhyas. Only one who is favored by the Supreme Personality of Godhead can understand the transcendental features of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Now, this is a very important description by Srila Prabhupada. And in order to understand Vedic literatures, one has to get the mercy of a pure devotee. This is very important because some people think that they can manufacture their own way by some concocted idea. Why did Prabhupada write these books? These books did not become obsolete on November 14, 1977. They're still applicable today. The Acharya, the bona fide guru, is approaching all prospective students all over the world through his transcendental mercy, his Vani incarnation every day with his books. Simply one has to develop the intelligence to understand this. I just want to relate a little story how in 1977, at one point, Srila Prabhupada was walking on Chatikar Road in Vrindavan. This is the road where the place where Lord Krishna killed the cart demon. And we asked him a question, Prabhupada, why is it that in India, for thousands of years, there's been so many people who have invaded the country? The English, the British, the Portuguese, the French, some Mongols, some Turks, some Afghans, some Persians, so many different people tried to invade India. But yet, we still see that the culture is still there. We see women are wearing saris, the temples are still there, so many sacred places are still there, people go to the Kumbh Mela. Why is that despite all these invasions, we still see that culture there? And Prabhupada says, because that culture is Sanatan Dharma. It can never be destroyed, no matter how many invasions are there, because this is Krishna's culture. That's why we see in the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna explains, Yada yada hi dharmasya glanir bhavati bharata abhyuttanama dharmasya tadatmanam srijamyam paritranaya sadunam vinashaya chadushkritam dharma samstapanartaya sambhavami yuge yuge. That India is Bharat Bhumi, Punya Bhumi, Divya Bhumi. This is the land where Lord Krishna, Lord Rama, Lord Parashuram, all the incarnations, all the great acharyas, the Ganga, Yamuna, everything. And Srila Prabhupada is the foremost ambassador of Sanatan Dharma. He is the foremost representative of all the great Vaishnava acharyas to bring this transcendental knowledge of Sanatan Dharma. This is very important because sometimes there's some misunderstanding that the Krishna consciousness movement is some Hindu religion. Of course, this has become accepted as a social term, but the origin of that word, when the Muslims invaded India on the east side of the Indus River, which is now in Pakistan, in their Persian language, Arabic language, they cannot pronounce the word Sa properly, Sindhu. So they call those on the east side of the Indus River Hindus. But there, you will not find that word in Bhagavad Gita, Srimad Bhagavatam, Vedas, Puranas, Mahabharata, Upanishads. Of course, as I said, it has become socially accepted that the inhabitants of Bharatvarsha, what is now India, or what remains of India, they are Hindus. But really, the real world is Sanatan Dharma. And this is what Srila Prabhupada brought. This is what his teachings, this is what his books have represented. Thank you very much for following Prabhupada and trying to help us distribute his books. And a quick announcement here, I just want to make a note. I know that Vishwakarma mentioned several individuals as part of his talk in the beginning. several devotees who are helping to distribute the Srimad Bhagavatam. We are trying to distribute these Bhagavatam volumes. We request everyone's help. And we request everybody to send their offering for Srila Prabhupada's Vyasa Puja, which will occur on August 17th, 2025. So please send your offerings either to myself or Vishwakarma, and we will have an electronic Vyasa Puja book, Nila Shyama, Srila Prabhupada on how to give classes. Very good. Where is this from? Who wrote this? Okay, good. We don't have much time to discuss this now. I have to proceed, but thank you very much. And beautiful picture of Srila Prabhupada behind your head, by the way. So is Rupa Goswami with a picture of Krishna. And Mataji Rochisa also has Prabhupada smiling. Very beautiful. Shiv Narayan also. Krishna Katha, we need those Bhagavatams to be displayed if you can get them. But thanks everybody for participating. Back to you in the studio, Vishwakram. I have to proceed on a Bhagavatam delivery. Thank you very much. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna.
Glories to Srila Prabhupada. Thank you very much for your expert explanation of today's verse and understanding, because Prabhupada, as you said, mentioned in your talk, you mentioned that we cannot stay here in this world, no matter how we think we can live on. The duration of life in the Kali Yuga is 100 years. In the Satya Yuga, it's 100,000. In the Treta Yuga, it's 10,000. In the Dwapara Yuga, it's 1,000. And in the Kali Yuga, it's 100 years or less. But we think, oh, I won't die, even though everyone is dying. And we see it around us, no matter where we go. I want to show this picture. Rupesh, if you could show this picture on the screen. See that? That's Gopal, my friend. And recently I went to Mexico, and this is what happened to him. Now, the tilak, I put the tilak on his body. That's from Radhakunda, the black, and the neck beads. And I showed another picture, but look at his face. He's gone. No one thinks they'll die. Nobody. Harish, nobody. But this is the bottom line. Everyone must die. And unless we understand this and use our time properly to serve the mission of Lord Chaitanya, our life is a waste of time. Now, take that off the frame. That's enough. The best example, we're reading the Krishna book. I'm finished that section with the gopis, but the gopis demonstrate the highest level of devotional service for the conditioned soul, completely selfless service, because they are the perfect example of how to perform devotional service. And this is what our business is, to follow in the footsteps of the great souls. Prabhupada demonstrated it himself in reality when he came from India. He came with nothing. And he engaged everyone in Krishna's service without any personal motivation. So this is his example he set for all of us. And it's a great opportunity for us to step up and become examples, personal examples of how to execute devotional service to inspire others. I had as I mentioned earlier, I had this Prabhu from Bangalore, Vinay Sandeep. And he called me this morning. He talked to me. It was an interesting how he inspired me. Because by his association, I thought, he's so serious about taking up devotional service. That's what he says. Okay, good. That this was setting an example for me. Through association with bona fide disciples of Srila Prabhupada, we can become inspired to take up the service and get entrapped in it. And that's what we want. We have to have momentum in our lives, momentum to serve through association, just like we've printed these Bhagavatams. Yes, somehow or other we started. And now we're gaining momentum. We're getting caught up. I say this, Nilesh Shama, it's like a bandwagon. We're inviting people, hop on the bandwagon. What is it? The preaching mission of Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada. And get caught up in this service with your time, with your money, with your energy. Everybody has energy. Yes, the internal energy of the spirit soul that drives this material body, not for external material pleasure, not for material sense gratification, but for pleasing, without condition, without any motive, the mission of Lord Chaitanya and Srila Prabhupada. That is our business. And when we capture that as a team, when we all are operating on the same page, guess what will happen, Nilesh? We'll become, as a team, very powerful. We don't need a lot of people. We just need good people. I wanted to ask our friend Vinay Sandeep, I see him on the program, maybe you could express some of your thoughts about your participation with us online right now. Hare Krishna. Vinay, can you hear me? See if you can
Hare Krishna,
unlock.
Prabhu. Yes, Prabhu, I
Yeah,
can
go
hear
ahead,
you.
go ahead. Bhakta Vinay, go ahead, speak.
So I was praying to Srila Prabhupada to give a bona fide disciples like you and Vishwanandan Prabhu. So I was praying in ISKCON Bangalore temple. So soon after I'm praying next day, so I got a contact with Venkat Bhatta. So I gave a number of Vishwanandan Prabhu. So I immediately talked to Prabhu. So Prabhu and we discussed everything. So I told you, why can't you come to classes? Okay, I agreed. Okay, I will come to classes. Then Prabhu shared me the link and I joined the classes. So it was very quite different from any other classes. It was very unique. As you mentioned, it's a PhD program. Of course, it's a PhD program. So more than 10 hours a week, getting classes, daily increasing my spiritual knowledge, reading, chanting, taking prasadam, associating devotees. Yes, Prabhu.
Okay, any more? You want to say any more? Tell them how your life is changing, how the books are coming to you, how your schedule is changing in your life, your focus. Explain, please.
Yes, Prabhu. So the best is Prabhu has sent the CC to me. So I was not having the CC and Bhagavad Gita. He sent me and I was reading. It was grace of Krishna and Prabhupada. So I'm chanting regularly early morning. Before going to office, I chant and I finish my rounds and some Prabhupada lectures a year. And while going in train, I will read some books. So this way changing. And
Okay.
to improve in Krishna consciousness, so A, B, C, D is very important. A means association with devotees, B means bhakti, C means chanting, D means distribution of books, E means Ekadashi. This, this is the explanation of A, B, C, D, E. Yes, Prabhu, over to you.
Thank you very much. Okay, so some thoughts from Vinay, who is looking forward to his initiation, along with Bhakti and Amber, and some of other new people that are coming forward. And we have rules and regulations for initiation based on our training personally from Srila Prabhupada. And we hope that other people will step forward and take up this mission with us because time is limited. And this is the greatest opportunity that we could imagine. I asked Vinay today, what would you have done if you hadn't come here? Where would you be if you didn't have these classes and this facility and the opportunity to serve? How would you feel? And he, of course, is very enthusiastic to take up the mission, and we're encouraging him along with others to don't get discouraged, to keep focused and keep going in this process of association, sadhu, guru, shastra. Yes, the shastras are there. And whatever Prabhupada says is shastra, the name and form. So there are thousands of quotes that we can study, and we do in our classes. We present them, and so many people are coming all over the world. We're getting constant contact with them, small groups of people taking this up. And gradually our strength is coming with your association, and we thank you, everyone, for being a part of this mission to protect the legacy of Srila Prabhupada in his transcendental presence in his Vani incarnation. We're going to move forward to this next section of our program, which is a talk by Srila Prabhupada to give us some insight further into this wonderful transcendental experience. Rupa Goswami, please roll the next section.
Vandeham Sri Guru Sri Juta Padakamalam.
Then the question is that if I am eternal, why there are so many miserable conditions of life? And why I am forced to die? So this is actually the intelligent question, that if I am eternal, then why I shall remain in this material body which is subjected to death, birth, old age and disease. Therefore Krishna instructs that this miserable condition of life is due to this material body. Those who are karmis, means those who are engaged in sense gratification, they are called karmis. The karmis do not care for future, they simply want immediate facilities of life. Just like a child, without the care of the parents, he plays whole day, doesn't care for future life, do not take any education. But in the human form of life, if we are actually intelligent, we shall try our best how to get that life or body where there is no more death, birth, old age and disease. So this Krishna consciousness movement means to educate people for that purpose. Now one may say that if I simply devote in Krishna consciousness, then how my material necessities will be supplied? So the answer is there in the Bhagavad Gita, that anyone who is simply engaged in Krishna consciousness, for his necessities of life, Krishna will look after. Krishna is looking after for everyone's maintenance. Eka jo bahunam vidudhati kaman. That one Supreme Person is maintaining the necessities of all living entities. So, for a devotee who is trying to go back to home, back to Godhead, there will be no scarcity, be rest assured. There, Krishna says in the Bhagavad Gita, Tesam satadajuktanam yogokkhevam maham maham. A devotee who is engaged always in my service, I look after how his necessities of life will be fulfilled. Practical example is that in this Krishna consciousness movement, we have got 100 centers. And in each temple, not less than 25 up to 250 devotees live. So we have no fixed means of income. And we are spending in all the branches $80,000 per month. But by grace of Krishna, we have no scarcity, everything is supplied. People are surprised sometimes that these people do not work, do not take any profession, simply chant Hare Krishna, how they live. So that is no question. If cats and dogs can live at the mercy of God, the devotees can live very comfortably by the mercy of God. There is no such question. But if somebody thinks that I have taken to Krishna consciousness, but I am suffering for so many things, for them or for all of us, the instruction is Matra sparshasta kontiya situsna sukha. This pains and pleasure is just like winter and summer. In the winter, the water is painful, and in the summer, the water is pleasing. So what is the position of the water? It is pleasing or painful? It is neither painful, neither pleasing, but in certain season, by touching the skin, it appears to be painful or pleasant. Such pains and pleasure is explained herein. They are coming and going. They are not permanent. Agama apayana anitya means they are coming and going, therefore they are not permanent. Krishna therefore advises, tang titikkhasya bharita, just tolerate. But you do not forget your real business, Krishna consciousness. Don't care for this material pains and pleasure.
I think all of us go through that experience, Harish, that when you decide to take up spiritual life, people will object, like your parents might. They'll tell you, no, you can't do that. You have to get an education. You have to go to the slaughterhouse of material life and get an education so you can make money and be successful. This happens, that people think, oh, this person's gone crazy. I can remember years ago, personally, people thought I went crazy when I gave up a useless career in music as a young man. We were slated for some success, meeting all very famous. I've met many famous musicians in my life and played with them in different shows. So people thought, oh, what happened to him? He went crazy. He lost his mind. But when you look at your life in retrospect, after you've passed the time, everything that you do in Krishna's service throughout your life will eternally benefit you. And everything else is simply illusion. And Prabhupada Nilesh, he says this in Gita, it's inexhaustible. Devotional service. You never lose anything by engaging in devotional service to the spiritual master and Krishna. And everything else at the time of death is lost, and death could come at any moment. So this is something we should think about and base our decisions as we move forward on these principles. Base your decisions in life on these principles that we're discussing, that Prabhupada is discussing here. How will you survive? Prabhupada said in the lecture there. Well, Krishna will provide, and he'll make the arrangements. Whatever arrangements are there, they'll unfold for you, and your life will become successful. Who can understand that? What do we got here? Devotional service is eternal. It has no end because it is spiritual. Therefore, since the assets of a pure devotee are completely different from material assets, there is no comparison between the two. Since he has nothing to do with anything material, what pleasure can he derive from material benedictions like kingship or other overlordships, which are finished quickly with the end of the body, sadly? Devotional service is eternal. It has no end because it is spiritual. Therefore, since the assets of a pure devotee are completely different from material assets, there is no comparison between the two. Go ahead. Nilesh, could you read for me the value of a moment's association? Nilesh, is your mic?
Yeah.
Go ahead, please read.
They just unmuted
Yeah,
me.
go ahead.
This is
Go ahead.
Srimad Bhagavatam, Canto 1, Chapter 18, Text 13. The value
Yeah.
of a moment's association with the devotee of the Lord cannot even be compared to the attainment of heavenly planets or liberation from matter. And what to speak of worldly benedictions in the form of material prosperity, which are those who are meant for death. When there are some similar points, it is possible to compare one thing to another. One cannot compare the association of a pure devotee to anything material. Men who are addicted to material happiness aspire to reach the heavenly planets like the moon, Venus, and Indraloka. And those who are advanced in material philosophical speculations aspire after liberation from all material bondage. When one becomes frustrated with all kinds of material advancement, one desires the opposite type of liberation, which is called apurna bhava, or no rebirth. But the pure devotees of the Lord do not aspire after the happiness obtained in the heavenly kingdom, nor do they aspire after liberation from material bondage. In other words, for the pure devotees of the Lord, the material pleasures obtainable in the heavenly planets are like phantasmagoria. And because they are already liberated from all material conceptions of pleasure and distress, they are factually liberated even in the material world.
Yes.
This means that the pure devotee of the Lord are engaged in transcendental existence, namely in the loving service of the Lord, both in the material world and in the spiritual world. As a government servant is always sane, either in the office or at home or at any place, so a devotee has nothing to do with anything material, for he is exclusively engaged in the transcendental service of the Lord. Since he has nothing to do with anything material, what pleasure can he derive from material benedictions like kingship and or other lordships which are finished quickly with the end of the body? Devotional service is eternal. It has no end because it is spiritual. Therefore, since the assets of a pure devotee are completely different from material assets, there is no comparison between the two. Suta Goswami was a pure devotee of the Lord, and therefore his association with the rishis in Naimisharanya is unique. In the material world, association with gross materialists is veritably condemned. The materialist is called Yoshit Sangi, or one who is attached to the material entanglement, women and other paraphernalia. Such attachment is conditioned because it drives away the benedictions of life and prosperity. And just the opposite is Bhagavad Tangi, or one who is always in association with the Lord's name, form, qualities, etc. Such association is always desirable, it is worshipable, it is praiseworthy, and one may accept it as the highest goal of life.
Perfect. Such attachment is conditioned because it drives away the situation of opportunity. Now, it's very interesting, Nilesh. A lot of people think when they go out for an interview, for a job, or an investment, or an opportunity, that yes is a good thing. Because the person, you make the pitch in the boardroom. You make the pitch. I want to do this. I want to do that. I want these situations to unfold. You make a pitch for an opportunity. What happens when the person says yes to you? Like, no is easy. Because when somebody says no to you, what do? Thank you. And you get up and you walk out. And nothing changes in your life. Because it's no. You wanted to do something, but it never worked out. But yes is different because when they say yes, you become entangled. And your things to do list changes. The next day, you've got to do this. And you go down in this tunnel of activity. It's like a going down in a mine. You're stuck in there. You've got all kinds of things you've got to do. So in the same way, when you say yes to Krishna and Prabhupada and the mission, you get caught up in this activity. And it takes you over. It's like a bonfire. It starts to burn in your life. And everything changes. We can judge our advancement by how Krishna is giving us this opportunity to serve. And if we don't take it, now we're lucky. I'm noticing in our particular environment here, it's changing. And Nilesh, it's changing. Our focus is changing. It's becoming, we get these Bhagavatams, it all have unfolded like that. All of a sudden, oh my God, now we have to do something with them. What are we going to do? Let them sit in a warehouse? Oh my God, we got this huge list of things. And it's getting us caught up in this bandwagon of activity. And we're very fortunate. It's an opportunity. Nilesh, you got your hand up. Go ahead. Ask me or ask us. What is your question? Does the mic work? Is your mic on? Rupa, put on this mic.
Okay.
Yeah, go ahead. Go ahead.
He unmuted me. You know,
Yeah,
an interesting thing happened. I would like to share something which happened
Please.
last Sunday. I was in ISKCON, Miami, and the temple president over there was talking on the Bhagavad Gita. Normally, I don't attend the lectures because they use the adulterated version, but I had to wait because I had to pick up my son from the airport. So I said, might as well listen to what they're saying.
Okay. Yeah, see what's
So,
going on with the enemy.
so I'd like to share something over here. Give me 1 second. They started speaking. He didn't. Can you allow me to share the screen, Prabhuji? So they started speaking from chapter 6.
Okay.
Chapter 6 in the new version. If you look at it, I'm going to share this screen. Let me see if I can share it with everybody.
This is the yellow Gita? This is from the yellow
This is the yellow Gita. And what I'm
the
bringing to people's
contaminated book.
attention is,
Yeah, go ahead.
look at the title which is there. You know, everybody says, oh, this is just grammatical mistakes. But this is what I want to bring it to your attention. Chapter 6 is labeled Dhyana Yoga by whoever is considering himself more intelligent than Srila Prabhupada. And if you look at the Bhagavad Gita as it is, chapter 6 is called Sankhya Yoga. Yes.
Wow.
Now, it is interesting is because I raised my hand at the question answer session and I asked, see, there is a way to challenge people also now. So I
Go
said,
ahead.
what is the difference between Sankhya Yoga and Dhyana Yoga? So I'm not trying to openly challenge, but I just said, what is the difference?
Yeah.
Obviously, the press had no clue. He went into all other tangents to explain things. But there was one uh, loyalist of the other group who was a Prabhupada disciple. He comes running after me. And of course, the Prabhuji says, did you understand it? I said, yes, yes, in a polite way. Of course, there was no conclusive answer. So then the Prabhupada disciple comes running after me and says, actually, Sankhya Yoga is the yoga where the Purusha and Prakriti are considered as two separate. And that is called Sankhya Yoga, which is a higher form of yoga than Dhyana Yoga, which is just meditation. And you can meditate basically on Brahman or Paramatma or anything else. You see? So Sankhya Yoga is higher than Dhyana Yoga. So I said, oh, thank you very much, for this explanation. So I said, then why has the label changed
Yeah.
on chapter 6 from Sankhya Yoga to Dhyana Yoga if you know so much? There was no comeback, Prabhuji. So please use your references wisely. When Yashodanandan Prabhu starts reading, he says specifically, I am using 1972 Macmillan edition is because we are using the original words of our Acharya. You change the words, you're changing everything, and you're not even following the parampara, you know. And it is very interesting that this episode occurred, which I wanted to share. And so even the temple president did not know about it. Then there was another question which was raised by somebody. He says,
Okay.
what is the real color of Krishna? Of course, there was no answer to it. People said it is bluish black. Some said he's like the dark cloud, a rainy cloud, which is all correct. Absolutely. So then when we were having, then after the class, I asked this person, Prabhuji, if Krishna is black or he's bluish or he's blackish blue or he is of the dark colored, why is Sri Sri Radha Braj Bihari, which is the deities in Miami ISKCON, why is Sri Sri Radha Braj Bihari white? No answer. So remember what Prabhupada says that when these people are coming for years, I've been seeing them coming for decades to ISKCON Miami. You will become what your Guru Maharaj is. You will get your knowledge up to what your Guru Maharaj is. So, yes, initially you may feel the change, you may feel the transformation, but if you want to reach the highest peak, you cannot go anywhere but to surrender to Srila Prabhupada. Hare Krishna.
Oh, yes, good. I'm glad you go out and experience these things with the so-called ISKCON people or the Gaudiya Math people. And this whole thing is, especially in America, the temples have become either Gaudiya Math or Hindu. And the different gurus, they're cults. It's a guru cult. And it's a loose association with each other based on compromise and personal ambitions of each individual to gain followers and money and reputation. It's petty. It really is petty. But I spoke about it earlier, the actual fraud is massive. It's massive. It's hundreds of millions of dollars of Lakshmi has been stolen from Prabhupada's mission. Just think about it in Canada, and I'm going to get Ron Singh to speak in a minute. Just alone in Canada. Now, remember, they had the skyscraper building in New York City. Do you recall that? I went there. I stayed there. Some of the rooms, and Prabhupada was there during the 76 Rath Yatra. It was fantastic, and the elevators didn't work, and it was dilapidated, but potential was there. Can you imagine how much it's worth now, Nilesh? 7 million then. It's 70 million now, or 170 million. And they squandered it all. The Canadian temples, The Toronto temple is worth $45 million now. Montreal temple is worth tens of millions. The BC temple is worth tens of millions. They have 4.5 acres in Burnaby, BC, very valuable real estate. And it's under the control of some guy that's never there. He's off in Trinidad, or he's off in Guyana, or Hawaii, or some other place. It's gone completely insane. They've squandered everything. Hundreds of millions of dollars of Prabhupada's assets are being squandered by a few imbeciles. That's what they are. And it's the historical reality of it is there for everyone to see, although some people live in denial. They deny. That's what they do in law. I deny. You deny, but you have no real evidence to justify your denial. We have. This is a terrible thing. And, my hope is someday we'll form a class action lawsuit and expose this mess that's existing globally with these few people that have perpetrated it. And we're going to go to our friend in Sacramento. Yes, Sacramento. I know you're in Oroville, but I know you're in Sacramento. Can you speak on the phone, or are you driving, Ron Singh?
Okay, yes.
Yeah,
So
go ahead.
we have this wonderful opportunity of collecting this Lakshmi that was a divine arrangement for the printing of Srila Prabhupada's original Srimad Bhagavatam set. And a lot of devotees donated, so we'd like to thank them for their trust in us and for following up with us. We still have sets to distribute to all the devotees who have donated. So please send us your address for the shipping of the Delhi Srimad Bhagavatam sets. And then we also have service opportunities that are all available at our Oroville ashram, where if they want to become part of it, and if they want to learn how to operate a center, how to manage a center, that opportunity is also there. So they can come down there. Oroville is a wonderful atmosphere. We have the Feather River there. If you check my Facebook page or the YouTube channel, you'll see the beautiful Feather River there. It's a small town. We have another town called Chico, that's State University, is one of the accredited universities where we can set up tables. So there's ample scope for service here. And if you're really interested, you can contact me or Vishwakarma, and we'll coordinate with you on how you can have this wonderful experience of participating in the revival of Srila Prabhupada's original Krishna consciousness movement. So it's a once in a lifetime opportunity. This opportunity is not open. And me and Vishwakarma, we go back several years during COVID. I remember having a conversation with Vishwakarma, like, Vishwakarma, we got to do something. At that time, we did not know what we were doing, but somehow or other, by Krishna's arrangement, Srila Prabhupada's mercy, that this group is here. And with this group, we can change the whole world. But there requires some commitment, some high level commitment and dedication. If we really are for Srila Prabhupada as the true Acharya for the golden age, we should step up and take a leading role or support the devotees who are actually doing this in any way possible. So that's my plea to all the devotees here. Please participate. Please contact us. We have 2,000 sets we need to get distributed. We have other projects as well, which you'll hear about in the coming future. So please help us, help Srila Prabhupada, help yourself, and get involved. Thank you very much.
Well, thank you, Dr. Ron Singh, who is making every effort. I was speaking to a new devotee with our group, Arjuna. He has a name. His parents were, I think, Prabhupada disciples, and he's in Pennsylvania, and he is experienced in online distribution of books. Yes, because we have to open up a Amazon, Harish, we have to open up an Amazon account, and we have to have a central warehouse operation. And he suggested that we have one location in America where we could distribute all the requests for books will come in online, and then our one central spot will be the main headquarters for the distribution of everything worldwide. Organized like that, a distribution. So we need someone to come forward and say, I want to step up and take this opportunity to be a part of this Sankirtan service and dive deep into the ocean of distribution of Srimad Bhagavatam. Yes. Now, some of you may not be able to because of your entanglements, whatever they are. It's not our business to analyze that. It's your business to understand it and try to liberate yourself so that you can serve. But Prabhupada had said earlier in the talk, Krishna will, I'm paraphrasing, Krishna does make all arrangements to help us in our devotional service, in our eternal journey back home, back to Godhead. It's like I said about George Harrison's song, It Takes So Long. Oh, it takes so long, Hare Krishna. No, it doesn't take so long. You're wrong. I get the point he's trying to say. It takes time. In eternity, it's not long. It only takes 1 second, Haresh, to decide what you're going to do with your life. That's what it takes, a decision. And then move forward with a group of devotees that are cooperating together to serve the mission of Srila Prabhupada. And Nilesh, very good point today. You went around to the Gaudiya Math a few weeks ago. You saw that garbage. Then you go to the ISKCON. That ISKCON, Abhimanyu, we established the Rath Yatra in Toronto. It's not just me, it was a teamwork. But I established this program to go to Toronto Island, where today there'll be 40,000 people there, the largest Rath Yatra in North America. And I told them, I will not go. Somebody asked me, oh, please come. For what? For what? What are we going to do that for? To promote these people that are trying to propagate the spiritual practices of Krishna consciousness for their own personal ambitions? With change books, change kirtans, bogus so-called prasadam cooked by karmis. This has gone insane. It's a terrible thing, and unfortunately, we're here to work together to solve it. So please, you got my numbers, everyone, and you can call me anytime. I'm, let's say, full-time in this. Today is my first session, I must admit, very well and structured. Thanks you for making me part of this group. Ramesh Pandey. Okay, I didn't know, but thank you, Ramesh, for joining us, and just stay subscribed. The programs will inspire you, guaranteed, because this is the bona fide mission of Lord Chaitanya that we are recreating using time, place, and circumstance. The time, the place, the circumstance, and the tools that are there and available to us. And it's working. It really is. And people that criticize us and blaspheme us, that's common. That people will blaspheme, they'll criticize. That's okay. We're not offended. Everybody is entitled to their opinion. Nilesh, I call it the International Society of Opinionators. Go ahead, join that club. This is Prabhupada's mission. It's not an opinion. We don't speak on mental speculation, mental concoction. We speak facts based on Prabhupada's teachings. And we're going to move forward with the next section of the program. And Rupa Goswami, is it the Kirtan we're going to play?
Yes.
This is the next section. Is that right?
Yes. Kirtan. Hare Krishna.
Okay, so we're going to play the Kirtan. Prabhus, please chant along. It's only a couple of minutes, but at least it's something that you can add to your Krishna conscious bank account today. Hare Krishna. Play that and chant along.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Nectar of Devotion, Chapter 8, Offenses to be Avoided. The offenses against the chanting of the holy name are as follows. First, to blaspheme the devotees who have dedicated their lives for propagating the holy name of the Lord. Second, to consider the names of demigods like Lord Shiva or Lord Brahma to be equal to or independent of the name of Lord Vishnu. Sometimes the atheistic class of men take it that any demigod is as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Vishnu. But one who is a devotee knows that no demigod, however great he may be, is independently as good as the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Therefore, if someone thinks that he can chant Kali, Kali or Durga, Durga, and it is the same as Hare Krishna, that is the greatest offense. Third, to disobey the orders of the spiritual master. Fourth, to blaspheme the Vedic literature or literature in pursuance of the Vedic version. Fifth, to consider the glories of chanting Hare Krishna to be imagination. Sixth, to give some interpretation on the holy name of the Lord. Seventh, to commit sinful activities on the strength of the holy name of the Lord. Because by chanting the holy name of the Lord, one can be freed from all kinds of sinful reactions. It should not be taken that one may continue to act sinfully and after that chant Hare Krishna to neutralize his sins. Such a dangerous mentality is very offensive and should be avoided. 8. To consider the chanting of Hare Krishna as one of the auspicious ritualistic activities which are offered in the Vedas as fruitive activities. Karma Kanda. 9th. To instruct a faithless person about the glories of the holy name. Anyone can take part in chanting the holy name of the Lord, but in the beginning one should not be instructed about the transcendental potency of the Lord. Those who are too sinful cannot appreciate the transcendental glories of the Lord, and therefore it is better not to instruct them in this matter. 10th. To not have complete faith in the chanting of the holy names, and to maintain material attachments, even after understanding so many instructions on this matter. Every devotee who claims to be a Vaishnava must guard against these offenses in order to quickly achieve the desired success.
Yes, the 10 offenses in chanting. Let us offer our respectful obeisances to all the assembled devotees here today at this program and all those online who are watching our show on our YouTube channel, Hare Krishna Society. Vanchakalpa Tarubhyascha Kripa Sindhu Bhayevacha Patitanam Pavinibhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. I offer my respectful obeisances unto all the Vaishnava devotees of the Lord who can fulfill the desires of everyone, just like desire trees, and who are full of compassion for the fallen souls. So we want to thank you all for being a part of the program today from all over the world and take up the mission. We're going to show the credits of the show, all the credits of the people that donated and other people that are with us in our offices around the world. We have business offices for distribution. And then after that, we're going to have a japa class and other Prabhupada nectar here to end off the program. So you're welcome to stay on. Hare Krishna, all glories to the Sankirtan movement of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada, Jaya Prabhupada. Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Radha Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktivinoda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna Krishna Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare, Hare Ram Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Ram Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Ram, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Bala Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Bala Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Bala Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare